Alright, guys. Sorry about that. I was downstairs chatting with the family, petting my pup, talking about hot ass days. It's gonna be in the high 90s, hundreds, apparently. So, alright, we're back in this fucking cave. We're back in this fucking hellhole. I hope newbiekins, I hope you're enjoying the start of 3. 3 is Pixel Remaster is very good from what I've seen of it so far. I mean, it's 3. 3 is really good regardless, but the Pixel Remasters. I'm sorry, but the other remasters and remakes or whatever, the PC mobile ports or whatever, and all those, the PSP releases or whatever, they just didn't agree with me for some reason. I mean, I could probably beat them. It's just I just didn't like the way they made it look. I mean, and I know people are complaining about like some UI or maybe some text choices. Personally, I don't give a fuck. Like, I ain't no fucking English student who's gonna go and write papers and shit for a living or whatever, or some sort of English major. But, ow, my neck. I also wanted a date. I want to date you. Yes, I wanted to thank Manolia 403 and Manolia Lunar for the follow 2 days ago. I'm not sure if I thanked you. Manolia Lunar seems more familiar than the 403, but I'm gonna shout you guys out anyway. So thank you for the follow, both of you. Welcome to the Hunters Guild, guys. I don't remember if I saw you guys, because I know I didn't stream last night. Because I got tired. Really tired. And I know I'm late today. I was busy watching Newkins, the rest of his Final Fantasy stream, and I was just chatting and enjoying the chat. Kind of got lost in that. I was like, fuck, it's almost 8. But that's alright. It's not a big deal. I'm not even that tired, so I should hopefully go for a little bit today. We're just gonna... I guess level up fire. I gotta level up some of my magic. I probably don't have to make an entire team of mages, but I'd rather have my guys to have some sort of magic. I don't want the only potential mage to die, because I know I've had it. In the original 2, where I was originally going to make one character potentially partial mage and partial physical attacker with their bow. But, you know, potentially losing that only mage kind of makes that kind of annoying. So I decided to say, fuck it, give everyone a potential chance to just sit there and have a high-ass DPS and to an extent with magic. DPS in a turn-based, but you know what I mean. DPT, damage per turn. Is that a thing? I don't even know how someone could have a high damage per turn, because it's not really... Yeah. Damage per whatever, second turn, or any of that kind of nature doesn't really exist in a turn base. But anyway. So we're going to also level up Asuna, because I need that for in case I have some high-level statuses on my ass. And I always seem to get that and the other one confused. One is for permanent statuses. Like at the beginning, I was like, oh, one of these didn't work correctly. No, it did. I was just an idiot in the original. But yeah, one is... I just don't like that they have 2. They could have made 1 for everything. Personally. That's just me. We get Zambos, though. You punch him. I need to get another Asuna user, though. I need to get that on other people. Nice. Nice. Ah, snowmen. Totally not abominable. That's in a 5. Yeah, this definitely levels a lot faster. I'm really kind of happy about that. Makes the my hand is cramping, sorry. This makes the farming a lot more reasonable. I remember it being infuriating. And I do like the idea of being able to level your magic and stats. I really do. And being able to affect how your character growth potential is. Just the way 2 did it and the way 2's gameplay and world works, it did not connect very well. And again, 2 seems very anticlimactic, only because, like, 1 minute you're fighting for your friend, then the next minute he gets replaced by a guy who's not even mentioned really ever. I don't know. That's why I like some of the bosses, that's why I like some of the vinyl villains who are either throughout the entire game, like Kefka, or are mentioned periodically, and then you do see some of their rampage, like X-Death, where he sits, I get, like, the stupid army that we're going against here, they do some havoc, but they're really just servants to a greater, higher power, and it's kind of annoying. They don't really do much. Nothing compared to what Kefka or X-Death has done. Like, even Sephiroth. Like, I don't really care for villains who are hyped up or never mentioned until the end. Or seen, or whatever, till the end. Like, Sephiroth is hyped up, but half the time you never see the guy. You never actually see the physical form of him until way later in the game. And by the time you actually encounter him, you're fighting him at the end. Like, Sephiroth's all build up. Ultimacia is barely ever mentioned. She's mentioned a few times. She's mentioned taking over other spiritual beings. Like, what's-her-face? From the Sid's wife. The adoptive mother of all the fucking characters. That's about it, though. You don't really... At first, I thought that was her. Until you beat the game, I'm like, the fuck? I just don't like that shit. But that's me. Doesn't mean it can't be bad. I mean, Final Fantasy X-2 kind of came out of nowhere with something sort of with Shuyin, and it's just like... He was built up, but even then, like, X-2 story isn't that horrible. It's just... Like, 10 did a phenomenal job with how they built the world around the threat. They need to work more on some of the games. Okay. Is this just a door? A door to darkness. Grenade. Granada. Makes me want to play Evolution now. Ah, yes, he made butts a white mage. Perfect. Of course, big balls. Sorry, I'm watching another streamer. Newbie, I love you. Better make that fucking big balls a ninja. If I don't see ninja balls, I am mad. I will riot. I should put that in this chat. Ninja balls or we riot? So I clearly can't do anything else in this area. I don't know what the point of these doors to nowhere are. I'm sure there's probably secrets within them. I don't give a shit. I mean, I do, but, like, I'm not bound to go back to every other door. and check, because if I didn't do it in the originals, if I didn't, or if I did, whatever. Don't really matter to me then. I just want to bring down the Dreadnought. And now I'm physically attacking now, I don't get it. Is it chilly? Level up that Asuna. You need fire to level up. I just want to level up my team with fire, and then I'll start moving on to Blizzard and Lightning. And then I also need Cure, but... Be honest, I can spend... There's going to be some times where I'll spend time off stream. Right? So you guys don't... Besides, I don't even... There's going to be a lot of grinding that I will not need, but I'm just a guy who likes to do so. Besides, seeing as this is the definitive Final Fantasy II now, for me, I definitely would not... mind grinding all that much in it. You dang skull! Skeletor. Oh yeah, them sweet, sweet shades, bruh. I just want to imagine all my characters chatting on the phone every time they cast magic. That's what it looks like. Some sweet, sweet shades, bruh. Sorry, I can't hate blind in these. I love it. It's fucking gold. You get some sweet ass shades. And look at that shit. Chick don't fucking care. Just don't curse me. Oh, yeah, because antidotes totally work for that. Yeah, let me just cure my freaking blindness with a poison cure. Ah, more green goblins. Can't wait for Final Fantasy IV! Can't wait till they freaking release 4 this month. From what I saw, 4 comes out this month, and 5 and 6 come out in September. Well, 6 drops supposedly on the 30th, which is my birthday. So if that's correct, I will be a very happy, happy man. But I also got a lot of work to do working on the episodes that are... I will get there on my God of War moments. I said that a lot about the first episode of Resident Evil 1, but like for some reason I kind of just... I don't know, lost interest. But I still want to. I don't like having it incomplete. Good lord, I just like, I don't know. I don't even really want to do Pokemon or God of War, but I want to complete them. I don't mean that. I just don't want to have to record stuff because I'm not gonna go and live stream the first 2 bits again. It's kind of dumb. Battle Ass. Wait, are you giving me a chintzy Battle Ass? Yes, you are giving me a Battle Ass, because it is totally ass. Why? Okay, I can understand getting gear in dungeons like this, but why are you giving me, like, the basic of basic shit? like giving me a fucking basic-ass weapon in the final dungeon. I mean, they've done shit like that before, where they have you fight enemies using shit. In Final Fantasy IX, actually, I think is the only one that did the one room, the one castle where you got to use weaker shit to do damage. The weaker the gear, the better you do. Like, I like that kind of stuff, but they could have done that. Some of the gimmicks that 2 and 3 have, but they didn't. Instead, they did some more stupid ideas that I'm glad that don't reciprocate. Hey, if you do start Pokemon, you have to stream the name you... I have to stream the name you give your rival. What do you mean? I mean, I've already started Pokemon a while ago. I'm in the midst of Crystal somewhere. I gotta continue it, because I will eventually play all the way up to Gen 8 and, you know, the remakes of Diamond and Pearl and all. But what do you mean I have to stream the name? Because I nicknamed my rival in the other 2 games, so I don't know if that's what you mean. Like, I probably gave one of my rivals Asshat. I forgot which one, but I'm sure I did. Or are you asking me to give the opportunity for chat to name my rival, or Pokemon, or character? I would definitely be down for that. I've actually done that in the past. It's just not very... Like, I know at Platinum, I started Platinum a while ago. I know I have a few Pokemon that I named, or whatever. And when I do the Dragon Ball Pokemon ROM hack, where it's Pokemon but with Dragon Ball characters, I plan on allowing you guys to name some of your favorite characters in Dragon Ball. Oh my god, my... Shit. My boom arm came off. Hi, boom arm, please. Uh-oh. Multiple things are happening. My mic side of the boom arm is weakening, meaning my mic is flopping around, and the boom arm itself is detached from my table, and I can't screw it in because my hand is sweaty. Can I, God dang it. Oh, you don't. Can everything quit being a pain in the ass? Seriously, what the fuck? I didn't ask for that. I just wanted to tighten it, but it isn't letting me. Alright, let's try that again, shall we? Want to know the worst part? There's 2 tighteners on this thing. The one that keeps the base attached to the table, and then one that keeps the arm to the base of the fucking arm. And the part that attaches to my table has those barbell tightener. Oh, it's the one with the 2 balls and a bar in the middle. Because you gotta... Fuck. It's wrong! No, you gotta like turn it a bit, then you gotta push it in, then you gotta grab the other side of it. Oh my god! And I keep slipping, my hand keeps slipping, my mic keeps slipping! I am having issues. Why? It's not actually tightening. It's not tightening up. You know what the problem is? Is that my table does have this weird lip underneath where it's attached to, so it's not a flat surface. And that's why it's not tightening. That's why it's not tightening. Oh, come on. Why do you do this? Why do you do this? guys. Really wish this didn't happen right now. Sorry, I'm just waking up from a long-ass nap, almost 4 hours and 20 minutes. It was 4:19. Hey, nice. And yes, Mike did go boom. The only time when something goes boom and it's not from Dead Rising. Sorry, for anyone who'd never played Dead Rising. Probably wouldn't understand that. There's an NPC, a boss fight, that actually screams, "You go boom now!" by throwing bombs at you. Dead Rising 1. Paul, the guy who throws Molotovs. And has remote control bombs that look like the little Spider-Man machine bombs from Spider-Man. Little spider things. They look like one of those. Except they're not spiders. They're just more like weird remote controlled bombs. But that's what it reminded me of. Fucker. But yeah, that's what your quote reminded me of for some reason. Alright. Sorry, yeah, that last little bit on my microphone. Boom arm has the barbell, the little balls at the end to tighten it against the table. That shit sucks. That's why I couldn't get it tightened. That, and then there's the base of that, where the boom arm attaches to the base itself, because there's two, it separates. And that part came loose too. So I had to sit there and tighten that. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't know why I wouldn't do it. But the biggest reason I hate the part that my boom arm attaches to the table to is because part of the table has this lip underneath, so there's like, it doesn't have a flat, firm grip on the table. There's a spot, and then there's a spot that comes down on the table in the design-wise, so it has like a grip against the table, but it's not quite flush, if that makes sense. That's why it comes off so often, because it didn't really come loose. It kind of just disconnected from my table. So unfortunately, I had to tighten it up a little bit to make sure it stays, but yeah, that's kind of what happens. Sometimes it'll just come off, because it's not really flat, like, flush onto my table. It sucks. Like, I do love my mic bass, but it was just too easy to pick up sounds. Like, you can already hear all that, but with it on my table, it picked up everything. And it was just annoying. This boom arm kind of makes it so it's kind of shock resistant. That was the point of the shock mount that's with it. So I can do this and it'll... You know what? I could try that, to be honest. Put a block or something to make a better grip for it. I would have to think about that. For right now, it's alright. It holds, it does its job. It's just kind of annoying when it does fumble off. Because there's also, my dad gave me the table. It also has a compartment at the bottom for a tray. So I could easily put my external keyboard there. Because I kind of don't even use my laptop keyboard since Zero gave me the mouse, which I only really asked for a new mouse. I didn't even need it. My USB mouse worked fine. It was just old. He gave me a mouse keyboard bundle. So I'm like, whatever. I'll take it. It's a nice keyboard. The Red Dragon brand. It's actually a very nice mouse. I mean, I really don't know what it does for me because I'm not much of a shooter or fighting game person, especially on PC, which is probably where it shines. But yeah, I really... They're all the same to me. Newbie with the raid! Hey! How was the rest of your stream, my friend? How is the start of 3? Yeah, praise the sun indeed. I'm actually wearing that shirt. Pretty good, first dungeon in 3 stead. Nice, nice. Yeah, I had some issues with my mic detaching from my table. And now we're just chilling, murdering people in the ice cave. Thank you for that shout out, Al. Appreciate it. Everyone who's here, please go check out and send Newbikins some love. He's a big RPG fanatic. It's probably more than me, in fact. He loves Final Fantasy, he loves Legend of Dragoon, and way more things. Other than that, he's just an awesome friend. So thank you. Thank you for being an awesome friend. And more bits will come to you, my man. I just got paid last week, so more bits will come to you. You've given me enough entertainment for the bits that I've watched. You gotta add me on Discord? Shit. Alright. Take your time. Surprised you actually. Hey, there we are. I thought you joined a while ago. Maybe not. Well, thank you for joining the Hunters Guild in Discord, my friend. Yeah, we're just sitting here buffing up our Asuna magic and our fire. Because I know from my playthrough experience from the original 2, not having high enough Asuna costed me a lot. With petrification and... what is it? Curse? The stupid status effect that makes you take more damage or whatever and do less damage? Nonsense? Whatever that was. Oh yeah, there's a lot of nonsense in this dumb game. And I haven't even dented a good portion of some of the worst parts. What's up? I'm good, Rusky. How are you? Have you been kicking some ass in COD? Or whatever other shooters? Have you started any later Kingdom Hearts games, or are you waiting on that? Everybody go send Rusky and Nubikins some love. I'm gonna shut you if Al doesn't beat me to it. Probably will. Slow typer. Yep. Well, I mean, I've been back for a little bit, but I'm still like trying to get my bearings, which is why I haven't been like streaming for my like 4 to 5 hour length usual. I've been streaming like 2 to maybe 3 hours. But yeah, I'm back. I just needed that like month off or whatever I took. Like work has been so damn exhausting. But yeah. Everyone go check out these two. They are awesome people. And they're very helpful with any information you guys need for streaming or just any tech info. These guys are definitely better than I am at that. Just some kind of... everyone on Final Fantasy list. I mean, this is a new version they just released called the Pixel Remaster. So, like, I love Final Fantasy, so when I saw this, I was like, fuck yeah. And unlike the other remakes, this actually looks good. Like, the other remakes were mobile ports put onto Steam and or PSP ports of older games or whatever, and it's just, I don't like how giant the characters looked. I don't like the UI. I don't like how cartoony it felt. I don't know. I don't know. Something about it just didn't agree with me. Which is why I played the originals. Like, I've had many people tell me, don't play the original Final Fantasy II. Okay. So play the original. That's basically what I was being told. Because I'm not going to play the remasters and remakes before that. That's not how it works. Time for dinner. I'll be looking. All right, man. Enjoy cooking up some grub. But yeah, like, that's why I don't like to start with the remake or remaster of something first. I want to experience the original if I never have. Like, growing up, I played a bit of Resident Evil, but I've never fully beat any of them until, like, the first one on stream. And I played the original because I want to experience the hellhole that is tank controls over, like, the newer ones. Because, like, I don't know, I just want that experience that most children had. Because I feel like the remakes are nice, but sometimes they make games too easy. And it's fine with this, honestly. Final Fantasy is fine. But when it comes to more action-y stuff, it kills it. No, I feel you. I've watched a bit of the remake of 1, and I've watched all of the remake of 3 and 2. I've watched all of them, basically. And I do like the way 2 looks. I just don't like how I just didn't really like. A lot of people were complaining how short and how changed up 3 was. I don't really know because I haven't really played it, but like, I just don't like that. Like, if there's content that's in it, don't take it out. You can add to it, change it, yeah, but I don't like when they do that. So that's why I want to experience like the originals, because I want that charm, you know. I feel like, yeah. No, it definitely does. Like, I played the original Silent Hill. I could have played the remastered versions of those. I was told that they weren't as good, but like, I couldn't even find where my remastered of Silent Hill 2 went, so I kind of said, fuck it, I'll buy it. I ended up paying an arm and a leg for it. Not really, $60, but still $60 for a PS2 game. That's pretty steep. Could be worse though. At least it was not even that. It wasn't even that of a popular game. It could have been worse, but still, like, I feel like a very used copy. It stuttered on cutscenes that I had to look up on YouTube for. That's how bad it was. But I beat it though. It's not like the game was broken. I was able to beat it. I just couldn't watch 2 cutscenes, and one of them was actually mandatory, fortunately. So I had to watch that on YouTube. But I loved them, though. Resident Evil 1 and Silent Hill 1. 2 was alright, but Silent Hill 1 was really fun. Yeah. I feel ya. Yeah, no, it's good to see some people that I haven't seen in a while, though. I gotta really make up some time to spend more with you guys. That's why I was chilling with Newbie there. I was like, I haven't really spent a lot of time chilling with some of you people. I hung out with a lot of you guys, but I wasn't very active. I gotta start being more active, is what I mean. Levels are skyrocketing. Yeah. Indeed. It's just hard for me to be a bit more active when I'm trying to focus my own life, even with streaming or without it, and work. Myself in a better state where I am on my own. Takes over. Yeah, no, it happens. I'm also a pretty lazy person. I get home from work and I'm just like, I don't want to do anything. It's not like I never do, though. Most of the time I'm lurking. I'm giving you guys that love and I'm watching little bits here and there, and then I go lay down. So I do have you guys. Oh, I multitask a lot. Whether or not I'm good at it, I multitask quite a bit. I talk and play games, or I watch you guys. I was watching Newbiekin's stream just before he raided me. Just watching him on and off. Cause I have his page up, but he's hosting me now, so it's not showing. But yeah, like, I usually have some of you guys up. You, Grizz, Newbie, Cashmere, whoever else. Good portion of you, some of you regulars. Overcast, Kerbo, and a few of you guys. Yeah, I usually have some of you guys just strolling while I'm playing something. Usually that or some D&D. Dungeons and Dragons is another good, like, thing to kill time with. So I've been watching a bit of that, too. But yeah, that was the reason why I'm late today, is I was just chilling with Newbikins. Like, it's my first time really being heavily active. Usually I say a few things and then just relax and chat. Don't chat at all. I'm just glad to stream it. Hey, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad that you guys enjoy it. I really do. Like, the reception coming back the other week was insane. Like, getting raided and then all these people are like, yeah, you're back. Yeah, all you guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You guys are getting me there to 400 follows. Whether or not I see even a quarter of you guys, it means everything to me. I could literally just have one dude, and that would make my day. Like, that one consistent fan would be enough. Like, fuck making money off this shit. Like, streaming, gaming for you guys is my passion. Like, gaming in general is a passion of mine. I like to do it for people in general. I've always loved having family and friends watch me play games. So Twitch streaming is always up my alley. I don't care if I ever make a living off of it. Well, that'd be great. Who doesn't want to make a living off gaming? But I personally just want to have fun. But I am getting there, and I appreciate you guys. Like, some of the best times have been me just fucking around on a game with people in chat. Like, honestly, I personally have more fun doing this than I have most of my childhood doing what I like, because, like, I don't know. I like to just be stuck in and playing games, stuff like that. So I enjoyed this more than I personally enjoyed growing up, going around with my friends outside. That's just me. I feel more connected to some of you strangers than I do with some people in my personal life. Just because, one, I don't gotta worry about that judgment. Two, yes, I know the internet's a troll, but it's the internet. Some of you guys have been the most amazing people that I have ever met. And I feel like I'm becoming friends with a lot of you. Friends over the... Yeah, you don't have to... Yes, exactly. Especially that. That makes it even better when you're playing a game with a friend that you know and you're just talking with them on Discord or whatever, and it's just like... Fuck yeah. Don't have to have them at your house for couch co-op. I love it. I do miss couch co-op stuff, but yeah, it's just so convenient. Oh god, yes. Or the horror that is split screen. I mean, it could be done well. Or it could be like PSO 4-player or GoldenEye or other games with horrible split screen. Split screens can be good, or it can be bad. Like, it could be Phantasy Star Online 4-player bad, because that, depending on your TV, I've had a very small TV. It was not that good. And it made it even, like, it was, I don't know how we did it with GoldenEye and shit back in the day, honestly. But yeah, split screen can be great. Oh, shit. Were you playing the original Halo 1? Or are you playing the Master Chief Collection Halo? I've not really cared too much about shooters, so I was never really the biggest hype for Halo. So I don't know how good the remake is, or remaster, rather. But I'm sure everyone's happy to have Halo, like, back in the fold when it comes to some of the earlier ones. I just think when a franchise gets really big, like shooters, they kind of just die after the first couple, personally. Like, I don't know. Some franchises can get bigger and not fall off, or some can get too big and just become monotonous, like Pokemon, or some can just get retarded and not make much of a difference because every shooter is kind of the same to me. So games like Call of Duty, God of War, yes, Gears of War, all those just don't seem to change. The remastered, nice. Nice. Gold. I said GoldenEye is blindness. It's golden blindness. It is indeed. Especially when you had to try your damnedest not to cheat. Me and my friends were the type of people who would put paper on one side of the screen. So I'd literally be like this under my TV. I was one of those. Yeah. One of those people. Good old GoldenEye. And then there's the friends who picked Odd Job. So it all evens out. I'd rather get my ass kicked by a midget with his bare fists than get shot once with a golden gun. Paper was always there. Yep. Definitely. It's definitely. Ambushed? Oh, screw you. That skull looks like a bush. Intellect. My character got smarter. Oh, excuse me. Ah. You guys so much. Right now, we're trying to get this. Yeah, it's easy experience. It is very easy experience. That's why I level my magic, because in order to get higher tier magic in Final Fantasy II, you gotta use it more. The more you use it, the more it levels. Unlike other games where it's like, you found fire, now you have Firaga. You bought fire, Fira, and Firaga. Or fire 1, 2, and 3. This game, you gotta use the spells enough times to get that. So that's why I'm doing it, because if my experience from the original 2 serves me correctly, my entire party became mages just because I had to sit there and make sure my team was constantly topped off with shit. And if originally I was gonna have one magic user who also was a physical attacker to an extent, but having one was not enough. I needed, because if that person died, I had no way of doing anything. And using items to bring people back made it annoying. Kingdom Hearts, indeed, yes. Kingdom Hearts is some of the best farming or grinding. I love action RPG grinding, if it's fun, that is. That's why I like grinding in Kingdom Hearts or Phantasy Star Online. Kingdom Hearts 2, specifically, had some of the best grinding, even though it's monotonous to a degree. 100%ing Kingdom Hearts 2 is probably one of the best I've had 100%ing a Kingdom Hearts game. When it came to getting all the base shit done, not the trophy stuff, but all the story-related 100%ing and getting all the Mickey emblems for the notebook and all the items, that was probably some of the best I've had. The organization battles, I love 2. I just wish 3 didn't crap on the end with a DLC that rehashed the ending, and didn't rehash the ending. It told you the actual story of what happened. I just wish they would have done so in the original ending. Then they tackled on data fights again. Oh, 3 is definitely easier. It is definitely easier. Now, the data fights, no. The data fights are far, far harder, in my opinion, than 2's. 3 was not bad, no. 3 is not a bad game. It's just, it didn't live up to the expectation. Unfortunately. It was a good game, it just didn't live up to that expectation. I mean, it never was going to. I knew for a fact, the day I got it, I was like, everyone's gonna hate this game. I knew it, straight up from the outset. Like, Kingdom Hearts 3 had some really good stuff going for it, but they also made a lot of things worse. No, it's fine. I definitely can understand. Age definitely has blinded a lot of us Kingdom Hearts fans. Kingdom Hearts has good moments and bad moments, and it has moments where it's aged good and poorly. I can definitely understand. I've seen TFS, Team 4-Star, or the guys who did Dragon Ball Abridged, play through the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts franchise once every week up until 3 came out and played that. By the time they beat 3, they were burnt out on it. At least one of them hates Kingdom Hearts 3 due to the fact of the ending alone. But it was just because maybe he realized he just got older and stopped caring about the later franchise. It makes sense. I love it. I love Kingdom Hearts and stuck with it. Unfortunately for Pokemon just hasn't done anything new. I'm starting to lose it for Pokemon because it's just becoming it's the same thing, but easier. It's just, they're making it easier. That's all they're doing. Like, I'm fine with easy difficulty, but when you make it so I can kill or catch things to get experience and my entire team levels with permanent EXP share now made that real bad. Not only that, the whole no 100%ing the Pokedex kind of take that away from me. That's literally the thing about Pokemon. Yes, so am I. I'm also excited for the Diamond and Pearl remakes. Finally, Diamond and Pearl do not need it, but fucking want it. If any game that don't need a remake at all, it's Diamond and Pearl. However, Diamond and Pearl is actually good. Unlike Ruby and Sapphire. That still to this day does not deserve it. The remake, that is. Oris does not need to happen. It can go away. Not a bad game, just not a great one. No, it's definitely not. Not at all. Because you can transfer Pokemon from the original Gen 3 games onward to this day. It's not needed. None of them are needed. But I do want it. It's nice to have a Diamond and Pearl and Ruby and Sapphire remake. It's nice to have them in all one spot, one console, one thing. That's why they should just put it on the Switch and just get it over with, including all the originals. Because the 3DS is dead. It's dead. Like they just need to put it all on the Switch at this point. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. And now for the Arceus game that's coming out, though, the backstory and precursor to Arceus and the god of all Pokemon, it's kind of needed considering how the whole backstory for Arceus and Sinnoh, I do like the idea of this. Because we've never got any real history on why Arceus was able to and why he's the way he is, or who and when he was created or born, or, you know, why he has the abilities and why he's the god. Why he can create legendaries out of thin air. I would like to know that information. Like that's I want to know how Pokemon started, even though it feel like it's retconning the entire thing. Because it's literally changing up the history that we've already known about Pokemon. Because now in Sinnoh, in the originals, and these new games, it's going to be the prequel, but there's also later generation Pokemon that should not be there. That's why I don't like some of these new Pokemon games coming out with new Pokemon, is because they're kind of like, whoa, we discovered these new Pokemon. But these lands existed. Sinnoh might have been the very first like land that was created, and some of the first Pokemon from that are the originals. But all these lands came about. Pokemon live there. They're just realistic. They're just animals. It's like just I don't know. I think it's dope. Artists and marijuana. Yep. Exactly. Because if Sinnoh is supposed to be the original, because it was Arceus' area and he's the creation of everything, that means Gen 1 is originally that. I don't know. I get too into some topics, that's all. Just like the people who are like, oh, Pokemon hasn't changed, give me something new, blah, 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 or it's too easy. Oh, or, you know, not give me something new. I want to go back to the olden days of Pokemon. This is too easy. Our Game Freak finally gives you a more faithful remake that looks similar to the original, not quite fully updated. And people are complaining that it looks too similar now. What do you fucking guys want? The Pokemon fandom, I swear. And we just got off this conversation in Newbies Chat about video game fandom, or fandoms in general. It doesn't have to be video games. It just was specifically that. And it's just like, no one knows what they want. Like, the Final Fantasy fandom is so mixed, too. It's just like, Oh, I hate 13. I hate 15. I hate action combat. I love Final Fantasy VII Remake. Every other Final Fantasy needs this. Trust me, 16 is gonna get a lot of hate. It looks good. 16 looks fucking phenomenal, but it's gonna get a lot of hate. It's never enough. No, it's not. And Final Fantasy VII Remake is probably one of the best Final Fantasy has been in a long while. Honestly, although I am hyped to play some of the later Final Fantasies. 12 and 13, not so much, but I am hyped to play 15 and 16. I am hyped to play 10 and 10 too, actually. Whenever I get to it. Whenever my slow ass decides to get there. Monsters! Real monsters. Real monsters! So how's everybody doing? I hope people aren't getting too, into my ranting topics. I don't want this chat to divulge into just nothing but hatred for certain fandoms. Shit, I want this to be a happy chat. A happy hat. Sure, you can have a mithril sword, I guess. Oh, two-headed dicks. Oh, it's hot here. Oh. That's a lot better. It's got a fan on me now. Okay, fine. You guys, my fire is not doing a lot when I split it, so we're just gonna fucking murder you guys. I'm surprised he survived that. I am surprised he survived. Dude just dropped me a battle axe. What's with these guys dropping battle axes? They're pathetic, come on. You're dropping me basic bitch gear. Metal Gear. Why does your name have to be Giant Beaver? Can't it just be Beaver? Now I just imagine a gigantic Bidoof and Bibarel staring at me. Snook! Shit! Did you just swear at me? Fucking giant beaver. Oh, tell me, wise one. Snook! Snook! Shit! Chat, Chat, speak beaver. Oh, are you telling me? Or are you saying it? Chat speaks beaver? Since when, chat? Goddess Bell. Secret passage and wall to right. Monster guard bell. Bell and wall. Oh, I smelled Dreadnought. I spelled Dreadnought wrong. Oh, it actually tells me. Well, that's convenient. feel like some of the hidden stuff in this wasn't as obvious in the original. I definitely wouldn't have found the Masamune in the last dungeon if it weren't for the fucking map, though, probably. I don't know. I personally don't remember how the area looked in the original, to be honest. But I'm not... Even though this game, like, explicitly tells me about secret walls, and me being a Dark Souls player, I still don't do wall strats. I barely even do that in Dark Souls, just because I played enough to know where a lot of them are. But even then, I'm still not actively good at the ones that I don't know where are. Which is why I, like, miss probably a good portion of them in Bloodborne's DLC. I was gonna say Chalice dungeons, which aren't DLC. Only because I feel like the hidden walls in that is kind of dumb. Ugh. You guys get to watch my fucking massive issue where I, like, stick my tongue out whenever I concentrate. I say massive issue, but it's really not. It's just kind of a weird quirk that I have. I feel like I'm going crazy every time I do that at work, because it's just like my tongue is just like, because that's how I concentrate. So you'll see me just lick my lips and shit. But if you're like watching me at work, you'll probably just see me doing that. It's, what the hell are you doing? That's how I got. Oh my god. That's how I concentrate. I like to tongue the air. Anyway. Enough about me eating out the air. How are you guys doing today? La, 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 la. Sentient icicles. I leveled up my spear. Does that mean I can thrust harder now? Don't stun sexy! How rude! Excuse me. Man, I do not feel bleh. My body feels bleh. Alright, I see I has Turtleman. Silver Curious. I am very curious. Alright, it is ass. Neat. I don't think I need that. I don't have any ethers. Well, shit. Well, that's an adamant toy guarding the bell. Stay on your toes. I love how you are like random difficulty in multiple different games. You're either easy as fuck or you're a later game enemy. Make up your damn mind. Adamant toys. I don't have magic on you, but Blizzard, death. Yep, about right. I mean, we could try fire, seeing as it's stronger. It'll definitely do more damage. Yeah. It'll definitely do more damage. Nope, equal. Equal to it. Still weak to ice. That's what I thought. I now know that my pet turtle at home cannot survive if I froze his water. Good to know. There's something set in the wall. It's the goddess bell. Now I think the stupid castle dungeon. I think that was a terrible dungeon if I recall correctly. I remember not the castle dungeon, but the dungeon where I get the fire. The castle dungeon is even worse. Well, fuck. She's out of. Wait, what? Oh. Wait, no. I was gonna say, maybe I don't have enough MP, but I do. Can I do the Temple of Kaoshan now, please? Like, ugh. I already don't like most of this part, and I hate the Dreadnought from what I recall. Oh god, it's Mr. I'm gonna be shoved in a box later. Curses! You've already gotten to the Goddess Bell. First you ruined my standing with the Emperor, and now this! The Emperor will never forgive me for messing up. If I ever go back to the Empire, he'll have my head in a box. But I'm still a soldier. If I'm going to die, you're coming with me. I mean, you are going to die, eventually. Probably here, in fact. I mean, in fact, I think I'm the one that actually kills you, and then you later get shoved into a box. I still like to think the Emperor put you in a box, you suffocated and became a zombie. I'm still going to think that. Borgin. Let's protect the entire party. I don't know what this guy has. And I guess we'll shell. Alright. Time to light a fire under this guy's ass. Oh, never mind. Or I'll just cut his dick off and call it a night. Well, you talked about losing your head. I don't think I took the right one. I may have lost, but don't think that you've won. I booby-trapped this cave, and now Yosef will be crushed by a boulder because I'm a dick. Ha ha ha. I'll be waiting for you in hell. Ugh. Let's Indiana Jones this bitch! Right the fuck now. Damn it! Go on, get out. The more I talk, the more this boulder will not move. So leave while I'm talking. We not leave you. I can't hold it much longer. Run! It's up to you now, Lil B, my sweet Nelly. May you batter up in heaven, my friend. Yosef. Jesus. Not Dash! You're not quite Dash. I'm sorry. You're not quite Final Fantasy III level of making me actually somewhat care about some of the character deaths. Because I actually started to grow on some of them. Like Dash, in fact, from 3. The guy who, none of them die. Spoilers. But still, like, I just, like, when I first played it, I'm like, no! Him and Sid and all these other characters who just, like, sacrifices themselves in some of the later games, like I think 5 or 4, I don't remember. Definitely 4. But it's just like 2's characters, I don't care. Except for Minwoo. Minwoo in the beginning in the Pixel Remaster looks like he's giving the whole come at me bro look whenever he's doing magic. I love Minwoo. It's got that come at me bro look. All right. Full shit ahead. Yes, horrible. See, in my opinion, I think Final Fantasy has done some stupid one-off gimmicks better than Pokemon has done, in my opinion. Stuff like this, where you get, like, characters or certain parts that are only in that spot in the game. Like, some of the gimmicks of Pokemon are horrible. The day and night cycle was fine. The Pokemon walking you was fine. The seasonal gimmick was horrible. The Dynamaxing thing, I'm done. I'm just... and Mega Evolution was alright, but then it killed it further when it just came back in the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire and then died. Like, ugh. They need to stop that. I did like that. I do like that Square kind of stopped the whole, oh, we're gonna give you these partial characters that you're gonna team up with, because like it was fun at first, but then it kind of just after 3 it was kind of monotonous. Like 3's was fine. I just don't like it anything after that. And they're not really with you. They kind of just follow you. So may I ask, where am I getting this momentum? Am I on, like, some slope? Is there enough wind? I mean, I guess there is. Sail, obviously, is being pushed, but how do I have enough momentum to move if that's a straight line and not a slope? I'm sure that's slopey. But the game doesn't render that well, so it looks like I'm just sailing on flat land. That one bee was like, no, no. Fuck this. Alright, ugh, that's a far trek, to be honest. To be honest, though, I think I have a paid ticket on a airship that I'd never used. Because I kind of was already, like, over where I wanted to be. I was like, I will go, I'll take this to Kaoshan. And then I kind of, like, walked over to an area near it. So I was like, oh, well, alright. I was already, like, somehow ended up over here or whatever. I'm like, ah, fuck it, I'm not going to go all the way back. I forgot, but... Things. Things! Why? Are you afraid to have your sass squashed? I squashed his sass. Don't mess with Sasquatch. Don't fuck with Sasquatch and his Slim Jim, just like you don't mess with Pyramid Head and his weird sex orgies with mannequin dolls. Anyway. Yeah, it's definitely not the creepiest thing that came out of the Silent Hill series ever. I mean, at least Pyramid has a nice ass. What? sprinter. Where are you sprinting from, my friend? Weird vulture-looking thing. And I know everyone who's coming off of newbie streams of 2 is probably like, ah, this guy's even less, this guy's even further, or even more behind, or even less far in the game. I want to see more of 2. Ugh. Definitely understand. Yeah, I get that. The dreaded knot is completed. I'm about to go destroy it. I just need to go get the fucking fire for it. I has said Bell, I can go and shit all over everyone's face once I get the fire. Ew. Ooh. I know I don't feel the best. Oh, that's disgusting. Ugh. Sorry, it's just my weird thing in my throat, and then my body just aches. So it's kind of mixing, and it's making me bleh. Wait, I have my magic back. What am I doing? Actually, you can be Asuna. Asuna? Sword art now? I can't think. All right. Every time I move, it looks like my nipple just goes transparent. And yes, I know it's because the sun is like literally right above my breast. Like right on my breast, right above my nipple. Sorry. It's just because it's yellow, so it's being picked up. That's why. Praise the sun, guys. I'm not really the one for the memeiest stuff, but I love this shirt. The back of it says, "Do you even praise?" on it. It's so good. I just wish it had Solaire with sunglasses, though. For anyone who's a Dark Souls fan, it would have been great if he had sunglasses and him saying, "Do you even praise?" It just would have given him that more cocky, get good scrub mentality going. Hey, hello. How's it going? How's it going, Reaper? How you doing? Just cruising along through 2. We got a bell to get this fire torch thing now, and then after we grab that, I'm able to go and destroy the army's airship. So we are progressing right along through Final Fantasy II. If I recall correctly, Kaoshan Keep is annoying as hell, though. Sorry for missing the last few. If I was finally able to see that. No, that's fine, man. Life takes precedence, my friend. It's all good. That's what VODs are for. If you care enough to actually watch streams that are not live, you can always catch them. On YouTube or on Twitch. That's what they're there for. I appreciate you stopping in when you can, though. Like, honestly, it means a lot. Goddess Bell? I love that I can literally ask this fire shit. Sunfire. I don't know. Nice. No, I appreciate any love you give. Thank you. You, Tom. It means a lot to have some of my personal friends actually enjoy some of my content. I really appreciate it. Ask the door, the goddess bell. This reminds me of 9, where you have to go through the weird fucking what was it? The sacred ground of the dragoons or whatever. I forgot the race. What the race was. Freya's race was. But you use the bells to open up these doors. Oh, I know you were. Shit, you were. We were hanging out when I was still trying to get YouTube really going. I remember doing a bunch of Kingdom Hearts. The reason why Kingdom Hearts took so long to actually record is because I was just not able to really get the flow of how to really chat and talk. And I still, at that time, was very novice, and I grew a lot on YouTube. But yeah, no, I barely just started when we were still hanging out and shit. I didn't even stream then. I was doing YouTube. I have, yeah. I didn't actually full-on stream. I didn't full-on start streaming until way later. I gave up on YouTube a long time ago, and I was just like, I'm done. I need to do something that's more entertaining. And being able to chat with someone live actually helps a lot with conversations. I still have moments where I don't talk, and that's going to be evident. Because, one, I'm not really a great conversationalist, but yeah, it's kind of hard when doing YouTube because you're kind of just... It's basically, for anyone who wants to do YouTube, all it is just talk to yourself, basically. The best way to describe it is play a game you love and do a walkthrough. Right there. The only game I've ever done a walkthrough on was Dead Rising 1 because I know that game pretty much back of my hand. And I could easily have done walkthroughs on other things, but I felt like Dead Rising got more out of me when it came to like, I know where to go, here's this secret, whatever. Stuff like that. For anyone who wants to do YouTube or anything like that, the best way to really get better at talking is to try to talk to yourself and also do walkthroughs. That way where you're giving information out, being helpful, but also trying to be entertaining with the story and with the game you're playing. That way, you know, it's just people, and your commentary is also better when you're actually excited and are enjoying something, which is why some of the best content that's come out of me have been, say, I don't know, Dark Souls, Sekiro, maybe Final Fantasy 4 or 5 or 6 even, have been some of the best I've had, because the conversations, some of the quirky shit, and some of the shit I say sometimes. Like, you'll never hear me scream about dying to a fucking cock outside of Sekiro. That or me humping apes, because that was a quote I said. I thought I was the only one left who could open the door. I'd meant to look for Egel's torch, but it's a monster's den in here. I can't keep going on my own, and I can't return empty-handed. I don't know what to do next. You know your way around the keep, right? Do you think you can help us find our way through? I'm sorry. The keep is riddled with secrets. I wouldn't know my way around better than you, but I do want to fight. Will you let me come with you? No. Yeah. In due time. Wait for that game to fully come out. And there's also a lot of other things. Like, there's so many other games, but yeah, we do. I know the beta's happening or whatever, but it's hard to get me interested in betas, really. The last beta I played was horrible. PSO2's Microsoft release. Like, it wasn't that bad, it's just I had to wait like an extra hour to play it because of time and because they were like horrible at releasing a beta. Don't even get me started on their client. Ugh. That and the Dragon Ball FighterZ beta, but that's a fighting game, so you can see where my interest kind of denied. My interest for that died fast. As much as I did like it, it's a fighting game. And yet, fighters got less love than Xenoverse 2. Go figure. Speaking of DBZ semi-fighting games, though, I gotta get back into Kakarot. I just wish it wasn't a fighting game with RPG elements. I wish it was an actual freaking, you know, what its namesake is, an action RPG. And no, it's not. It's a fighting game with RPG elements. It's a better Xenoverse. Kakarot is not an ARPG. It's a fighting game with action elements. That'd be like calling Kingdom Hearts a fighting game. No. As much as I love Kakarot, it's a good game. It's just limited horribly by very bad replayability only because it's competitive, or not competitive, but it's just everything repeats. It's so very it's just very repeatable. It's one of those repeatable games that is fun, but it gets old. And again, it's one of those like fighting games that don't get really fleshed out as a fighting game, so its combos aren't the greatest, nor that I'm good at fighting games, but it's just like that's honestly what it lacks, is that it's meant to be an RPG, but it has fighting game. Its main premise is a fighting game. That's why it suffers. If it was an actual Dragon Ball RPG full-fledged console, I'd be fucking happy. Because that's like the best Dragon Ball has. Honestly, it's fighting games, maybe it's staple, or it's action games, but it's RPGs. The few RPGs that Dragon Ball has is some of the best Dragon Ball has offered. And I really want a console RPG that isn't Wrath of King Piccolo, which is not an RPG, it's just a beat 'em up. Like, yeah, no, like, the best Dragon Ball games are definitely the RPGs and beat 'em ups. Like King Piccolo and the Advance Adventure, along with the Attack of the Saiyans, and of course Fusions, hands down the best Dragon Ball game in my opinion, my favorite, has been some of the best I've had. I just would have loved a sequel to Attack of the Saiyans, because that game has so much promise. It looks very good for a DS game, or a GBA even, and it had promise. Unfortunately, though, for newer Dragon Ball fans, it doesn't do a great enough job to build you into that world, and I can really understand that, but it still deserved. It probably didn't sell well enough, which is unfortunate considering. It is kind of a typical turn-based RPG, but what do you expect from RPGs, though? They're not going to get any more better than Final Fantasy or Phantasy Star or some of the classics that started it all. Like, some of those games and older ones, far older series that were out before those times. Like, it's hard to beat that, unfortunately. But yeah, no, like, when they boasted Kakarot being in a full, like, action RPG on a console, I was hyped. And then it turned out that it's a good game. It's a very good game. It is a fighting game through and through. It's a fighting game that has action. Like, that's weird. Fusion is fun. I remember when yes, the game is addicting as fuck. I almost did not put it down when I streamed it. Like, I'm nearing the end on my stream. I was just trying to get every character I could. And, like, I remember doing that on my main file, too. Trying to get all, like, the different versions of all the main cast and shit. Like, the 50 million Gokus and all that. I've never made any other character that isn't a Saiyan, but still, like, I like it. I love it a lot. That's just because I'm a guy who loves to be pure power, but that's just me. But, like, I loved it. It was fun. They need something else. Like, Fusions was creative. It took the premise of Dragon Ball and made something new out of it. You know what I mean? A new storyline. That's why probably it was fresh and good and exciting. It was different. It wasn't Dragon Ball, as we know. You know what I mean? That's its biggest issue too. Is they just keep making the same games over. I mean, Kakarot's DLCs added into Super, but it originally wasn't. That's the problem. Yeah, the best part was the flight. Honestly, I just love the random absurdity that is fucking random people that would normally not fuse or could ever probably potentially have a potential to have a good fusion because of compatibility. Because that is also a thing, unless they retcon that. Which is why Vegeta and Goku's fusions is so powerful, is because they are nearly identical in power. They are pretty much, they are compatible. They are very similar. So, like, there's a lot of compatibility with them. Compared to, say, like, I don't know, Krillin and Goku. Which, yeah, they're best friends, but they don't have that compatibility, unfortunately. Nor the power gap. But still. Like, I don't think Gohan and Goku's fusion would been as prominent. Despite the fact that Ultima Gohan in the Buu arc is stronger than Vegeta and Goku himself. I just don't think it would have been as prominent. Which is why random fusions in that game are hilarious, because I know they probably would not work. Like, Raditz and Nappa fusing. Like, that's one of the best fucking things ever. Alright, alright. I don't remember at all where I came from or went, to be honest. You just could... No, I can understand that. It's a fighting game with an open world. Loosely. Loosely. I say that loosely. Because it's still... You still gotta warp to certain segments. You can't just fly everywhere. True open worldnesses would have none of that. It's one thing to have blockades. It's another to call an open-worlded game, an open-worlded game, and then have you limited to a menu for teleports to certain spots. It's one thing to have a warp. It's another thing entirely to go from one section to another map section that's blocked off via mini-map. Yes! No, I was hyped. It did get boring fast. I beat Cell and that was it. Most of the time I spent was doing mini-games or the additional side quests, like the driving side quest, and fighting, like, the super enemies. Once you beat up enough of the enemies on the minimap, stronger variants come out, and you'll face stronger variants of certain villains. Like, I like that concept. It just got old. But no, it's a good game. It's just, yeah. It's also faithful. Very faithful to the show, to a degree. Yeah, it's just... Could be better. I don't know how much you love Devil May Cry, but DMC5 is phenomenal. It starts off pretty slow. In my opinion, I was bored of it at first, but it picks up. It's definitely my second favorite DMC game. Well, Devil May Cry is very good, I'll give you that. If you haven't played any of them, I do recommend you to play 3 and 5. 3 and 5 are hands down the two best. And if you don't care about story, you can play it in any order. Like, I know there's a... Like, you know, the typical actual release order, and then there's the canonical order. If you don't care about that, you can play it in whatever order you like. But canonically, 3 is the first. Yeah, the 361. Okay, well, I'm assuming you probably played the remastered of the original 3, of 1, 2, and 3, and possibly maybe 4. Those are the only games that are on the 360. Were the re-releases of the first 3 and 4. So you probably played one of those. I'm assuming probably 4, but I don't remember. But they're very good games. I recommend 5. Very, very much so. Yeah, that's 4. Nero, the guy with the extendy demon arm. Yeah, that's Nero. That's 4. Devil May Cry 4. And then there's the probably the only Devil May Cry game that I'm not going to classify as a Devil May Cry game, and I probably will never touch it again. The DMC reboot. DMC. Because they are bad with titles. We can't just call it Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, so we'll just call it Devil May Cry because it is a 1 reboot, not a straight-up remaster retelling. Well, I played it. It's not a bad game. It's just... It's not Devil May Cry. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I just couldn't get into it for the fact that it just... It felt not DMC. DMC is high. DMC is like that slow to mid-paced action combat that does get faster as the titles progress. Like 3 has some of the best like combination of speed and combat and fluidity that makes it feel good. The reboot just feels stiff and slow. And that's interesting coming from the fact that I love Devil May Cry 1, which originally was meant to be Resident Evil 4. Yeah, it's a steep hill to climb, especially if you're going to sit there and try to alter the story drastically to the point where it doesn't even resemble the original. I get it's a reboot, but it was done rather horribly. Yeah, no. And it's, like, Devil May Cry has never been a big game. It's never been huge. It's been linear, but to make a game even worse by making it more linear, made that worse. I really honestly thought he'd be dead. Like, I have it. I bought it. I will not beat it. I played a bit of it and just could not get into it. Also, I hate Dante's look. Sorry, you made an edgelord even less you made an edgelord more annoying? He's less edgelordy, but he's more annoying. I don't know how that's a thing. Yes, Ninja Gaiden? I mean, they just remastered the first... They just remastered the first 3 games, actually. Sadly, it's the Sigma variant. I don't know if you really know what the difference between that is. Sigma is basically the original, but with some added content to it. They changed up enemy it's kind of like Dark Souls 2 Scholar. They changed up enemy placement. They have new items and stuff like that, or whatever changes. Like, I don't like Ninja Gaiden Sigma 1 and 2 compared to, say, the original Ninja Gaiden 1 and Ninja Gaiden 2. But it's still a good game. It's just, I don't like some of the changes that Sigma has. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden got remastered, yes. I haven't played it. Tom told me he played a bit of it. He just didn't like the Sigma variant. And that's fine. I didn't really care for... Because Sigma added a few extra episodes where you play as other characters. It was fine. I just prefer the original. And 3 is a very bad game. Ninja Gaiden 3 is a very bad game. I'd be fine with just buying the first 2 if they weren't the Sigma variant. Like, I don't know. I played more of Ninja Gaiden 1 Black and Ninja Gaiden 2, the original, than I have Sigma variant. And the Sigma variant, believe it or not, is the one that you played on my PS3. That one that I beat for you. That was Ninja Gaiden 1 Sigma. The only difference, again, is it changes up some items, probably enemy placement, and it gives you additional spots where you fight as other characters from other Ninja Gaiden franchise series. It's like Momiji, the girl from the DS game, or what's her name? The blonde girl. You can play as them. Yeah, the final boss is a dick. I'll give you that. No, he's a dick. Like, when you first fight him in the beginning of the game, too, he's kind of like a dick as fuck. I hate him. I'm also very bad at, like, high-action combo games. DMC and Ninja Gaiden are, like, games I love, but I'm bad at. And Ninja Gaiden's not even that combo-y. It has combos, but it's not as combo-y as, say, Devil May Cry is. But it's still, like... Yeah. Don't even get me started on how bad 3 is. 3 is horrible. Another worst trope in video games is the very opening fight happens to be the cinematic from a final fight. I hate when games do that. Like, the very beginning of Ninja Gaiden 3 opens up with the final battle against the weird boss from the DS game, and then that turns out to be the actual finale, and the whole thing is basically a flashback. I don't like when they do that. I really don't. It was cool, though. It was a gimmicky fight. It's one of those, like, let's jump on this gigantic boss and hit him in certain parts kind of fight. Like Shadow of the Colossus, but not. I'm kind of annoyed by stuff like that. Ninja Gaiden was never known for weird gimmicky shit like that, but it did it in that game. And the best part of Ninja Gaiden 3 is getting chased by a dinosaur running out of a Resident Evil-esque a laboratory. Okay. Not a big fan of. I've not played on Shadow of the Colossus much. Like it's fun, but it was. Growing up, I've never played it, so its clunkiness kind of turned me away from it. Says the guy who played classic stuff like Resident Evil 1 and streamed it, and was fine with tank controls until the final boss. I just couldn't get into some of the controls for Shadow of the Colossus, and I don't want to just play the remaster or remake. I want to be able to experience the original too. But yeah, no, I can agree it's not a game that probably is meant for me. It is fun to watch people play. I personally just couldn't get into it. But yeah, it's kind of like that in a way. That's what the final battle in Ninja Gaiden 3 was. I just didn't like that. I don't like when they do that in a game. They spoil the final boss by having the opening cinematic be a boss fight, and that turned out to be the final fight. It's just the whole thing is a retelling. That's kind of like how Boruto started. You read Boruto, it's like, I'm gonna go send you to meet your father. Oh, okay. Then the whole manga starts. Oh, you're a flashback. Good. This is gonna be good. But I mean, Shadow. Switch. No, it definitely it's easier for me to control. The tank controls compared to the two in Resident Evil Silent Hill it was easy enough for me to pick up. Boss fights or being chased is where it started to really annoy me, because then I'm panicking and I'm trying to be entertaining at the same time and looking, which is why I kept dying to some of the last enemies in the first Resident Evil and the Tyrant himself several times, because tank controls. And like some of the poor changes of the scenery, when you go to change the scenery that changes to a different side of the map to where the camera angle changes, that fucks me. And that's why I kept dying to the final boss so much. Nice. I mean, I own the Shadow of the Colossus and Ico bundle on the PS3. I have both of them. It's laying on my floor. Check out my sweet shades, bruh. Okay, good. Turtle Man is dead. I can take out these fucking ogres now. It's 69 damage. Rip Gordon Ramsay over here. Ah, monsters! Fuck! Oh. I wasn't actually, surprised that I ran into monsters in a box. Just trying to be funny. Fucking were-rats. So, are you things like human that transform into stupid moonlight? Full moon? So I never understood why they're called were-rats. Or do they just... Is it because they're venomous or whatever the gimmick is for them? I saw the floor where it was. Isn't that bad, is it? I've just never got into it. Supply, you and your redemption. Why don't... Do I not have a thing that pops up on screen for that? I really should. Yeah. Oh, hey, Kai. Yep. Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster, my friend. Yes. Welcome. My second run through Final Fantasy II. After years. Looking great. Yes, it is. It's looking very good. It's my second playthrough after a few years. No, a year. It's probably been about a year. I think most of my Final Fantasies was 2020. Late 19, early 2020. So it's definitely been about a year. Yeah, I did a lot of Final Fantasy playing. I did do a bit of 1, stopped, and then I came back to 1, and then I played 1 straight through 9. No, no, it's not. I understand. No, Shadow of the Colossus isn't really my cup of tea either. Having never played it made it kind of tough to kind of go back on. But then again, like, I never played RE much growing up or Silent Hill, but playing those have been some of the best times, getting shitless scared out of my mind to an extent. Like, I don't know, those games aren't, like, scary, it's just the atmosphere. And that's what I love about it. Like, you don't gotta be, like, the overbearing, scariest game in the world. You can just have atmosphere. Like, I was terrified of going into rooms because before I even met Pyramid Head in 2, I was afraid of getting slaughtered by him. And then all I do is go into a room and interrupt him having sex with mannequin dolls, and then he chases me a bit. I mean, he wasn't as scary as I thought. He has a nice ass, I'll give him that. For anyone who doesn't understand what me talking about Pyramid Head having a nice ass is, it's a thing. It's a thing. Take care. But I'll join later if you're still streaming. I'm still at work. Take care. You played what? Silent Hill? Cowsy? Kai? I don't... It's weird calling you Cowsy instead of Kai. Oh, Final Fantasy 2. Yeah, I have... I played all of... The bulk of the Final Fantasy streams I did were all, like, last year. But yeah, no, it was fun. I enjoyed my first playthroughs of a good portion of these games. Final Fantasy 2 was a bit rough, but, like, as I got through some bad parts, it got better. But this remaster has been... Well, it has been kind of droll at times, because, yeah, 2 has moments where it's like, why? But I'm enjoying this a lot more than I did the original, by far. However, 2 is still 2. They changed up a lot, though. They made it easier to gain the stats that you need. It made it easier to level the magic you need or want. It just made it easier for a lot of things. While that's not agreeable with a lot of people, difficulty was never a problem for me unless you're Nintendo and don't know how to make Pokemon better. That's the only time I have a problem with difficulty, really, is when you're fucking Nintendo and you want to sit there and make Pokemon more adjustable to younger audiences, so you're giving a permanent EXP share that you can just literally capture or kill Pokemon and gain experience. You don't even need to level up your entire team anymore. Sorry, Sword and Shield, I tried. And I will be playing you, but god damn it, Nintendo, why? You made Pokemon just not... And not only that, they don't evolve. Pokemon just hasn't evolved. It needs to grow. Which is why Final Fantasy is becoming better. It's because it's actually trying to change with the times and becoming something that people actually agreed with. Which is why the remake and some of the later games are action now. Is because that's evolved with the times. And unfortunately, turn-based is fun, but it's... 10, I think, was the last of what you're going to see of a really good turn-based combat out of Final Fantasy, in my opinion. Remake to come to Steam, because I don't have it. No, I agree. Like, I love to have it on my PS4. I love having it on my PS4. I would prefer to have it all on one thing, though, because now that the newer stuff and the stupid Final Fantasy VII DLC, the standalone DLC for Yuffie, PS5 only, pisses me off. I don't want to buy... I'm already getting a PS5 eventually, but I don't want to have to buy that just for Final Fantasy VII, specifically. I mainly am buying it for the Demon Souls remake, but I want to also, like, my PS4 is still my primary console. And it will be for a long time. It is by far my favorite console. Yes, it easily performed the Xbox 360, which was my favorite console for a long time. It's just because all the stuff, even if I bought the game the 50th time, having all of my older games in one spot is why I love it so much. Which is why I'm actually considering the Steam Deck. Because I would love to play some of these games on my Switch. Nintendo. But no. You want to be fucking asshats about releasing the first 6 Final Fantasies on that, as well as Pokemon. Nintendo. Not that you don't have good games on your Switch, because the Switch is by far one of the best consoles you've ever made. It's just limited horribly by its shitty controllers and hardware. But yeah, I'm looking into it. I just wish it wasn't as expensive as it is, but I'm thinking about getting the highest bundle just because I like the idea of having that nice little carry-in case or whatever, you know, having the extra stuff that the higher tiers give seems to be just a better idea overall. Better protection and stuff like that. Wait, what? Oh, are you talking about 7's remake supply? I mean, feel free. Stream it. I definitely would watch you more, but you stream later. And I'm usually going to bed, or close to it. Ah. Fucking turtles! You are not turtly enough for the Turtle Club. Guys, do you think he's turtly enough for the Turtle Club? Why do you need a tripod stand? Are you talking about streaming with a webcam? Or camera? Are you talking about having like a webcam? Or are you talking about streaming your gameplay from your camera? Like, streaming camera footage instead of actual having a capture card kind of thing. Because, to be honest, if you're gonna do I would just look into getting an Elgato. You can do that, but if you want the quality, I would just look into getting a capture card, my friend. But I mean, that's not a bad idea for someone who's on a low budget, yes. You could start